All right, we're live. Hopefully, this is better this time. I had some technical difficulties, man. Let's see if it's on YouTube. I had some technical difficulties, man. Let's see if it's on YouTube. All right, so we're live once again. Okay, so first and foremost, as always, just want to give all praises and glory and honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and that do teach well, that have taught me this truth. This is Brother Gabar Allah from the branch of GMS Toronto. Um, hopefully, um, this lesson will be informing because I'm just going to go into a little bit of current events and a little bit of prophecy as well. I'm going to touch on the MOTB, man. But it's funny, it was a struggle to get this live show going, and on top of that, I'm a little bit under the weather, so please forgive me if you can't hear me clearly, man. I can't speak too well. Something's going around out here. But yeah, man, earlier today, I was, earlier I could watch anything on my computer. I can stream, I can watch 1080p, I can watch 2K videos, I can watch 4K, right? I can do all these things without any interruptions. But when it comes time to do the lesson, oh, now my internet doesn't want to work. And that's them demons, man. But it is what it is. You got to persevere. You got to fight through it. And this truth of ours, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's about endurance, about hardness. So without further ado, let's get into it. So what do I want to show you first? Just a couple articles that I'm going to go into. What's that? This guy named Tin, I believe, is Tin Pool. He does a podcast on YouTube here, and yeah, I was looking into this because Elder Apostle Tahar, he posted it on his channel. He said y'all should look at this interview or this podcast done with Tim and Ye or Kanye, going into the whole anti-Semitic remarks. You know, it's pretty good. I'm going to touch base on that as well. I don't think this lesson is going to be too long, but I'm just going to hit some articles and do whatever the Lord tells me to do. All right, so let's move on. So let's share the screen over here. All right, so um, let's go into shiftgold.com, and it says war on cash. India rolling out retail pilot program for digital rupee. So last week we touched base on this. I posted a video about the New York Fed announces the test of digital dollar with major banks, right? So they're going to run a pilot program, and that's the Federal Reserve. And now you're seeing India going into the second phase of their thing. So a lot is happening, man. All these CBDCs and these different banks of the world, they're all working in unison to bring forth this system, this B system, the MOTB. And guess what, man? You people that don't believe, you're going to be partakers of that system, man. You're going to be a part of it, right? Whether you're ignorant or if you're not ignorant of what's going on, you're going to be a part of it. Now, for you believers out there, you're going to deny this, man, through faith, pursuing to Isaiah, I believe 33 and 6. For wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times, and strength of our salvation. Briefly paraphrasing, you're going to deny this thing through faith and through the knowledge that you have, and ultimately the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai, he's going to pave a way for you to get out of this. All right, to deny this, and you'll be taken care of. So that's what's going on. So anyways, it says here, this was posted November 23rd, 2022. And last week, this was posted November 15, 2022. So, not too long, guys, not too long. So they're all working. It's all a plan. They're all working in unison. All these different major banks out here, they're all a part of the same club. They're all about the same agenda. So it says, we recently reported that the Federal Reserve plans to launch a 12-week pilot program in partnership with several large commercial banks to test feasibility of a central bank digital currency, CBDCs. The US isn't alone in experimenting with digital currency. India is working on developing a digital rupee and recently announced the second phase of testing. So, hey, they're getting it in. And you notice they mentioned what's going on in the Federal Reserve in the United States, that bank over here, which we did a lesson on that last week. So these guys aren't playing around; they're moving. While you Jakes are worried about Kanye West, or you're worried about, excuse me, getting the next million, getting the next billion, dropping that album, getting with the girl next door, you want to sleep with so much. The elites, man, they're moving out here. They're moving out here. They got big plans, and this is all prophecy. But 2/3 you ain't gonna make it, and the 1/3 you're gonna make it. Majority of our people, 2/3, they're out here screwing around, man. Whether it be in their ignorance, or whether they know what's going down. So our people, man, they're gonna get hit hard when shit hits the fan. So okay, let's go back to the article now. It says India is working on developing a digital rupee and recently announced the second phase of testing after successfully running a pilot program to test its digital currency at the wholesale level. The Reserve Bank of India, RBI, has announced it will test the digital rupee in a retail setting. So you see that pilot program was successful. People bought into it. And now we're going to see if you dumbass Americans, you're going to buy into the pilot program that they have set up for you. Okay? We're going to see if you're going to buy into it. And you know what prophecy says? You are going to buy into it. Going into Revelation chapter 13 and 15 on down, you are going to buy into it, and it is going to become mandatory. Okay, so what they're doing, they're putting everything in phases and in intervals and segments to condition your mind and to get you ready for what's going to come into the future. Okay, what's going to manifest in the future, I mean. So hey, second phase, man, second phase. Reminds me of that movie. What is it? The Fifth Waves. Judgment, and usually things, they come in phases, or they come in waves. Okay, and that's how these elites are doing it. But guess what? When you buy into these, when you buy into their system, judgment's gonna befall this place. Judgment's gonna befall, and you're gonna get caught up in it. Well, let me just wet my pipe here. Excuse me. So it says after successfully running a pilot program to test, according to the RBI, the central bank digital currency is a legal tender issued by a central bank in a digital form. Now it's a legal tender. Let's look up that definition here, which I don't believe it is, because that's a false balance, and we've covered this many times. So it says in legal terms, it means the money approved in a country for paying debts. Today, money is not just banknotes or coins. It takes many different forms, including credit cards, debit cards, checks, and the contactless payments we make using mobile devices. So it's approved for paying debts. Okay, so it's actual money. It can be exchanged, right, or whatever, right? But we know that's not true. We know there's no such thing as digital dollars in our economy, the Hebrew economy. When you go into that, everything is based on a weight, and it has to be of a precious metal, or it has to be some type of asset, whether it be like a trade and barter system, or whether it be like cattle, or whether it be like commodities like women, slaves, etc. Those are legal tender, right? Right. I'll read this other one here. Legal tender is a form of money that courts of law are required to recognize as satisfactory payment for any monetary debt. Each jurisdiction determines what is legal tender, but essentially it is anything which, when offered in payment of a debt, extinguishes the debt. Right. Ultimately, you guys are the debt. When you when you go into when you go into the breakdown of the amount that you owe in this country, you can go and check the debt clock, and you can see how they portion it out and break it down. on how much each citizen owes to get rid of that debt. Okay, really, you're the debt. If you want to get technical, if you want to get a little bit deeper and fancy, you're the debt. All right, so let's get a precept here, man. Let's get them precepts. And I've brought out this precept before, false balance. These are basics, Hebrew Israelite 101. And you can't go wrong with the basics, man. Basic precepts. All right, so this is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Like I said earlier, money is a weight, all right? Money is a weight, okay? And they're not giving you a weight. They're giving you a digital payment. That isn't a weight. That isn't something that you can hold. And, they can easily get rid of that payment, man. They can easily get rid of everything that you have in your account. They monitor every transaction that's being made, everything that's being done. So you don't really have access to anything. You don't get to hold anything. So that's really a false balance, man. And it's an abomination in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But a just weight is his delight. That's right. And that starts with the money, man. The talents, the weight. How much does it hold? How much does it back up? How much does it weigh on the scale? Right? So Proverbs chapter 20, verse 23, diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, and a false balance is not good. That's right. So it's not good. This is not good, guys. This is not good. Okay, so I'll read it again. According to the RBI, the central bank digital currency is a legal tender. That's not good in the sight of the Lord. We just read it. It's not good. Issued by a central bank in digital form. It is the same as fiat currency and is exchangeable one-to-one with the fiat currency. Only its form is different. Digital currencies are similar to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. They exist as virtual banknotes or coins held in a digital wallet on your computer or smartphone. Yeah, and soon you're going to be that digital wallet. They're going to make you into the digital wallet with that incision, that charagma, the MOTB, that stake that they're going to drive into you. Okay, and that CHIP is about as big as a grain of rice, and that's going to be inserted into you. So you're going to be the smartphone now, guys. You're going to be the digital wallet. You're going to be a walking digital wallet. And man, there's a reason why I go on YouTube and I check out these games, man. Because I used to play games a lot as a kid, and I'm studying those games. A lot of those games, they show you what they're going to do. You got games like Cyberpunk. Got games like Mass Effect, going into transhumanism, making yourself a machine, right? Making yourself a cashless payment, right? These games are getting these little kids out here prepared for what's going to go down in the future. And that future is real soon, right? So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that, but they show you in everything. They show you in movies, they show you in games. Yeah, you people should know by now, especially you tribes. You should know by now what it is, man. And we're in the time of the Lord coming back, and this is one of the signs that the Lord is coming back. You being made into a digital wallet, right? We've got to be at the end, man. We've got to be at the end, real close, crazy. So it says the difference between a government digital currency and Bitcoin is the value of the digital currency is backed and controlled by the state, just like your traditional fiat currency. As the RBI put it, unlike cryptocurrencies, a CBDC isn't a commodity with claims on commodities or digital assets. Cryptocurrencies have no issuer. They are not money, certainly not currency, as the word has come to be understood historically. So then what is it? You see these devils, man? You see these devils, man? And that's why we call you the devil. And this is why we got to get the hell up out of here, man. They're not telling you what it is, but they're telling you what it is. Listen to this, man. Do you trust a person like this? Really, just look at what they're saying here. Okay, let's read it again. As the RBI put it, unlike cryptocurrencies, a CBDC isn't a commodity or a claims on commodities or digital assets. cryptocurrency have no issuer, they are not money, certainly not currency, as the word has come to be understood historically. And that's a whole bunch of confusion right there. And this is going to cause our people to not understand what they're getting involved in, when it comes to taking the MOTB. All these strange, how they word it. First it is money. First you can exchange it with things. Now it's not money, right? So our people are going to be duped into buying into something that is so detrimental to their salvation, man. A lot of people don't understand the lingo. They don't. A lot of people are just going to get involved and not know. And you know what? The Lord wants it that way. Oh boy, I hope my connection's not screwed up again. Hold on, give me 1 second here, guys. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I hope you can bear with me. It's at 480. Hope it's not. Oh boy. All right, no big deal. We'll just thug it out, for lack of better words. Roll with the punches. I don't know, man. Like I said earlier, it was easy to watch videos. I could do anything online, but when it comes to make a video, now my connection wants to slow down. Never fails. That's these demons out here. So now it says, according to a report in the Economic Times of India, the National Payments Corporation of India will host a platform of the digital rupee payment system during the testing phase. The Reserve Bank of India wants each commercial bank in the pilot to test retail use of the digital rupee with 10,000 to 50,000 users. Okay, so now they're going to experiment on you people. So they're telling you 10,000 to 50,000 users. Okay, 10,000 to 50,000 schleppers they're going to experiment on. You suckers. And see how you react to it. And then they're going to collect that data, and then they're going to polish it and make it much better in the third phase. That's how these devils work. Now let me get a precept. Let's get Revelation chapter 13, and let's get 16. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right? You know what that mark is? It's the Karagma. Okay, let's go into that a bit here. We've checked this lots of times, right? Karagma. But you know what? Repetition is key. Karagma. Right? Karagma. A stamp, an imprinted mark of this mark, stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses, thin carved sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. Right? And it is an idol. Right? It is a graven image. Right? At the end of the day, you're paying homage to the spiritual demon Satan. And and you're going to receive a mark in your forehead or your right hand. Okay. And now you're going to, if you're branded, that means your property. Okay. So when somebody brands you, which comes through that CHIPPING, that means you're branded. That's a form of a branding. Okay. So now your property, your livestock of the elites, Mr. Burns. Okay. The different banking families. So yeah, man, that's that Karagma. And then when you go deeper into the root word, here we go. Slowing down now, man. Then you go into Karax, right? A pale or stake or palisade or rampart, pales between which earth, stones, trees, and timbers are heaped and packed together. And so that's that incision, that's that stake that's being driven into your flesh. All right, so it's just the root word for that. Okay, so it says here, I didn't want to do that. Okay. All right, so it says here, and he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, it doesn't necessarily say in the article which type of people are going to be tested. Just says 10,000 to 50,000. Is that the poor? Is that the rich? So they could be experimenting on um, different people on how you're going to react to it, right? So they're going to see how, well, that's just what I'm assuming. I don't mean to be presumptuous, but usually if they're going to test something and they want it to be successful, they're going to go in every economic bracket of where you people fall into or you fall under, right? So they're going to go rich, poor, probably free and bond, right? So they're going to see how those people react. They're going to see how poor people react to it, see how rich people react to it, and where they need to work on it. Okay. And that's why I brought this out, man, because it's going to hit the poor, it's going to hit the rich, it's going to hit the incarcerated. So they're in the testing phases. So now they're trying to polish it to get it to this point in what we're reading. Okay. So you're seeing what they're doing, man. They're testing it out. State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank of India, CI Bank, HDFC Bank, okay, Yes Bank and IDFC. First Bank will participate in the pilot program. If the pilot is successful, the RBI will roll out the program to the entire Indian banking system. The e-rupee will be stored in a wallet. The denominations will be available as per customer's request, just like you request cash for an ATM from an ATM. Banks are launching this only in select cities. A person involved in the program told the Times. There you go. Right. So hey man, they're moving on with this. And they're moving on. What are you Jakes doing, man? What are you Jakes doing? So it says, and he called all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And they're gonna see what your weak points are. That's why when they said 10,000 to 50,000 people, they're gonna test. It could be poor, it could be rich, it could be incarcerated, who knows? But they're going to see how you react to it as a poor person and a rich person, how much you're going to spend, how cheap are you going to get. They're going to see how weak you're going to get, right? And this is all to get you to buy into what they're giving you, right? So this is very serious, man, on how they're going to test it on you people. So they're in the second phase and they're going to go into the third phase eventually. And it will be successful because Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3 talks about that. We know that the vision is yet for an appointed time, right? Though it tarry, wait for it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and you're seeing these different banks around the world. They're following suit. They're in unison, right? So, hey, the MOTB, it's right around the corner. So, anyways, we're gonna move on. We're gonna close this off. We're gonna move on from this. Oh yeah, now they have. I did another video on these killer robots that they have out here, and this is going to be the update to that. I believe it was in the same state of California. So they're saying here, SFPD, San Francisco Police Department, authorized to kill suspects using robots in draft policy. This is not normal. No legal professional or ordinary resident should carry on as if it is normal. Okay. A remote control police robot used to disarm bombs. Image from Shutterstock. A policy proposal heading for Board of Supervisors approval next week would explicitly authorize San Francisco police to kill suspects using robots. The new policy, which defines how the SFPD is allowed to use its military-style weapons, excuse me, hold on, was put together by the police department over the past several weeks. And hey, that's that number 7, man. That's completion. All right. So we know that the Lord has a hand in that too, on the left, right? So hey, it has been scrutinized by supervisors Aaron Peskin, Raphael Mandelman, and Coney Chan, who together comprise the board of the Supervisors Rules Committee. The draft policy faces criticism from advocates for its language on robot force, as well as for excluding hundreds of assault rifles from its inventory of military-style weapons, and for not including personal costs in the price of its weapons. Peskin, chair of the committee, initially attempted to limit the SFPD's authority over the department's robots by inserting the sentence, robots shall not be used as a use of force against any person. For the following week, the police struck out his suggestion with a thick red line. It was replaced by language that codifies the department's authority to use lethal force via robots. Robots will only be used as deadly force option when risk of loss of life to members of the public or officers are imminent and outweigh any other force option available to SFPD. And these cops are all trigger happy, man. So that's just a nice way of saying, hey, look, we're going to use the robots anyway, motherfucker. And not a damn thing you can do about it. You know why? Because we enforce the law and we are the law. We're going to do whatever we want. And that's how they do it, man. That's how they do. And that's how this devil gets down, man. Doesn't show no remorse. He does not care. He'll just change it up and make it look different. But that's basically the same thing. Yeah, we are going to use deadly force. Right? Whatever, man. That's how these guys get down. And, yeah, you Jakes, you're going to get caught up into this. When them riots start coming out, be prepared for Master Chief to come out. These robots, get ready for RoboCop to come out. Okay? Gunning you down in the streets. Okay? Super soldiers, robot machines shooting up your house, shooting up your car, right? Shooting up your kids. They don't give a damn, man. And we're in the year 2022. Which police officer wants to go out there and interact with you heathens out here, man? You modern day Babylonians. So this is better for them, right? This is better for them. So let's get a precept. This is Revelation chapter 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you. Did you hear that? The devil, aka the so-called white man, and you other heathen nations, man, and you 2/3, okay? But primarily you Edomites, man. SFPD, Rothschilds, the ones who make the policies and make things happen. Them devils, okay? Is come down onto you having great wrath. That's right, great wrath. So that doesn't mean he's your friend. Because a lot of you Jakes, man, you think this devil is your friend. And you've been duped into thinking so. Pursuant to Revelation 20 and 7, man. Deceived the whole world into believing that he is a good guy. And you Jakes, you still haven't woken up to that fact, that he's really the bad guy. But he's going to come down with great wrath. And part of that great wrath is what you see on the screen, guys. SFPD, San Francisco's finest, baby. Oh my God. Robots are a part of San Francisco's finest. Yeah, that's right. And they're going to come down having great wrath on you, the robots in blue, baby. And they're going to shoot you down and blow you away. And it isn't going to be sentimental, because guess what? Robots don't have feelings. And that's cold, man. So, hey, that is wrath. That is some wrath, man. That is some wrath, man. Hey, the Lord ain't lying. The Lord ain't playing. That is wrath. That is some wrath. So having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. That's right. And he's grasping at straws, guys, because he knows he's going to lose it all. He knows he's going to lose his position on this earth. He knows, right? Even though he's thinking of precepts like Psalms 49:11, his inward thoughts is that his houses shall continue forever, right? He's thinking of those things, but he knows he's going to lose it. He ain't going to get to that point like how we're going to get in the kingdom. So you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to eradicate you Israelites, starting with the elect, man. Okay? He's trying to eradicate you, to get rid of you, because you're the problem. You are the problem. You know why? Because you were saved by Yahushua and you were set up to get the victory. And you know what that means? You're going to rule. So he has a short time, man. He knows he has a short time. So you know what he's going to do? He's going to send everything in his arsenal to get rid of you. Yeah, how does that sound? How does that sound? You think it's a joke, man. You Jakes, man, playing around, man. Think it's a joke. So let's move on. Let's move on. Now it says the following week the police struck out. I already read that. So it says this could mark a legal crossing of the Rubicon for the city. A robot use of force has never before been approved, nor has it ever been prohibited. In San Francisco, a version of this draft policy was unanimously accepted by the Rules Committee last week and will come back before the full board on November 29th. And that's today. And that is today, guys. And that's current events. That's current events. And it's happening right now as we fucking speak. So what do you tribes have to say about that? You think it's a game still? Hey, man, these people are negotiating on how they're going to kill you, man. How they're going to get rid of you, man. Especially you 2/3, like the trash that you are, man. Okay? All right? And you other little heathens, man, like the trash that you are. And you know what? You ain't no good out here. You know, I don't mean to sound cold-hearted, but I got to tell it like it is, man. You got a lot of our people out here just walking around, eating Cheerios, doing drugs, being bitches, being hoes, being skanks, right? Being pimps. You ain't no good. You ain't no good, and you need to get, you know, the Lord needs to get rid of you, man, and he's going to use the devil to do it in this upcoming time of Jacob's trouble. How about that? How about that? All right, man, let's move on. I'm having too much fun. Having too much fun. It's not good. So now let's go to, I'm just joking. So let's go to Daniel chapter 12. Let's go to Daniel 12, guys. Let's see what Daniel says, the seer and the prophet and the president. Okay, presidential first class prophesying. Let's see what he's got to say through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So this is Daniel chapter 12 and 1. The time of the end. And at that time shall Michael stand up. That's right, Michael, archangel. Okay, Micah Allah, he is like the power. That's right, and that's how he's coming, and he's going to stand up. Scripture says, gird up thy loins like a man. And guess what? He's going to gird up his loins in truth. And he's going to be fierce. And he's going to come back to save and to deliver, man. The great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And who's thy people? That's you Israelites. And you notice it says the children of thy people, not the adults of thy people. I'm going to say it like it is, man. You tribes are nothing but little kids in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. Maggots, little kids. Okay? Little kids, man. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. That's right. A time of trouble, guys. You know, and this is a part of it. You know, these robots being let loose, right? These different spirits that the Lord created out here for judgment, guillotines, race riots, nuclear missiles, the Lord coming back, beating this place up, destroying it. Come on, man. Come on, man. This has got to get your mojo going. Come on. Such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And you know what, man? You know, this is something that mankind has never experienced before. This is what they're saying, man. Didn't we just read it? They never experienced this before. And that's why it's going to the Board of Supervisors. That's why it's so controversial. That's why they're labeling, oh, this is going to be excessive force. Where do you draw the line? And the reason why they're talking like this is because mankind has never experienced this type of shit before, guys. So this is real, man. The Bible's real. The Bible's real. We're living in biblical times, man. Okay? And we're headed in that time of Jacob's trouble. You guys are sleeping, man. Guys are sleeping. Guys are freaking sleeping out here. But it is what it is. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered. That's right. And there's going to be a time of deliverance, pursuing to Revelation 18 and 4. Come out of her, my people. That's that physical deliverance, man. Us being beamed up in those ships and our bodies being changed within a twinkling of an eye. Boom. Everyone that shall be found written in the book. That's right. And the only way you're going to get saved is if you're found written in the book. And the ones that are found written in the book are the ones that are not adding and taking away from the book. Okay? And if you add and you take away from this book of perfection, you're going to receive the plagues. And guess what? The plagues aren't salvation. The plagues is destruction. Okay? And these are some of these plagues out here, man. Boom. You see, instead of a lockpick, guess what you're gonna have? You're gonna have a big assault rifle on it or a laser cannon. Okay, instead of a camera, you're gonna have a tracking. It's gonna track you, a target locator. You know, oh, that's a threat. Kill that. Boom, Terminator style. That's what you're gonna have, man. Okay, people are sleeping out here, man. All right, so let's move on. Let's switch gears now. Let's go into pedophilia. All right, so hey, this is some demonic shit, man. So it says here is Loda Volkova, a top designer for Balenciaga and Adidas. Okay, so this is the bitch right here, this demon. Okay, so she got called out for all her pedophilia photos that she was taking. Okay, and you can see here, man, this is hella demonic, hella demonic. Look at that face, the woman in red. And you know, ain't that a bitch? A lot of people, man, out here through their sensual lust, they're chasing the woman in the red dress, right? They're chasing the woman in the red dress, but you know what that comes with? That's a demon, man, that you're chasing, and that's a killer. That's a murderer. Look at that face, man. The woman in the red dress, the woman in the red clothing. Okay, so there you go. So this is all a sacrifice to babies in blood. Hands are bloody, so she's gonna sacrifice that so she can get high up there. Okay, so here's her post. She's put her Instagram on private, but here's a few photos. So this is obviously pedophilia. So look at the images, man. That's some sick shit, right? Right. I'll go here because this is what she posted, right? So obviously going into satanic sacrifice, Molech, pedophilia, wrapping up kids. So they're showing you the sadistic nature that they have, and really who they're worshiping. And really, this is the MO of an Edomite, man. This is just how they are. Okay, duct taping a baby or a woman or a little kid, right? Have a little kid putting up a skull. You see that? This is what she's doing, having a kid tied up. These are her posts. Now, it makes you wonder, guys, like, you know, in order for you to do this, there has to be people involved. Think about it, right? You know, there's somebody doing the lighting, there's somebody holding the camera, there's somebody uh, uh, putting out the photos, distribution, right? So they all know what they're doing. They're all a part of it. And it's crazy because, you know, the people who are on a high level, right, within that organization, I'm talking about Balenciaga and Adidas, they sanctioned it. You know, they sanctioned all those people to do their job, to take these photos, to make it happen. So it shows you what they're about. And you know what? An apology is not accepted because that's what they're giving. They're giving an apology for what she did, right? Apology isn't acceptable. You know what? You need to be put to death when you go into the story or what's behind it, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going into the scandal here, which I'll get into. I'll read it, right? And they're going to come out with an apology, right? But also think about this, man. You know, these are the same companies that are against Kanye, right? Think about that. These are the same freaking companies that are against Kanye. He just lost 2 billion or money in endorsements, whatever the money is. But these are the same people who blacklisted Kanye for speaking out against the small hats. But yet they're posting shit like this. You know, it makes you wonder, you know, how come they get to control the narrative? You know, but it's Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he, right? But it just makes you think, man. And this is why we got to get the hell up out of here. This is why we got to get the hell up out of here. Freaking disgusting, man. Look at this shit. And this all falls under fornication. Okay, when you go into Galatians, because that falls under porneia. And when you go into the root word of porneia, when you go into the root, it goes back to the word pornos in the Greek, and that's where you get the word pornography from. And that's all this was, man. Child pornography, pedophilia. That's all it was. You know, and the scripture speaks against this garbage. And that's why I'm mad. Okay, so let's get this precept. So this is Galatians chapter 5, verse 18. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. That's right. Okay. Right, so if you are being led of the Spirit, you're going to follow the law, obviously. Right. So that's why you're not under the law, because you're going to follow it. You're in the spirit of it. Right. You're in the spirit of the Lord. That's his character. Right. So, anyways, verse 19. Now the work of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, which you'll get the word, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Okay? And Kanye ain't right, man. Because he rubs shoulders with these people, as you could see in the screen. I believe down here I found a photo. I know I found a photo earlier. I guess I can't view it now, but it showed he was rubbing shoulders with this woman. Right? I found it, but I guess they're blocking it for some reason now on this site. I don't know why, but yeah, I saw him rub shoulders with this same designer. But Kanye ain't right, man. And you know, I don't feel sorry for Kanye. I don't feel sorry for him. He's rubbing shoulders with these people, and he's into something. Obviously, for him to get to that billionaire status, he has to be into something. And that's a designer right here. Okay. All right. So yeah, let me get the word. Um, let's get the word fornication. Here we go. Porneia, that's right. So Porneia G4202. Now, when we go into the root word here, keep digging, right? Porne, and then when you go here, pornos, right? And that's what you get the word pornography from. So this is really deep, man, on what they're doing out here. It's all fornication, right? And the Lord is against it. Porno, pornos, porneia, it's the same word, same family. So it falls under fornication. So it says, a man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse, a fornicator, right? And indulges in lawful sexual intercourse falls into pedophilia as well, okay? Um, or sodomy, right? That's unlawful. It's not natural. Um, let's go to porneia. Oh, come on, man. All right, illicit sexual intercourse. That's right. So that's what it falls under as well. Okay, so adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism, intercourse with animals, etc. Okay, so when you see etc., it goes into pedophilia and other wicked shit. Sexual intercourse with close relatives, you know, uh, that's incest. Divorced man or woman, metaphorically, the worship of idols, and that's where it's going into ultimately. You know, them worshiping their idols, because this is for a demon that she was serving. As you can see here, this is for a demon, and these are the things that are on her Instagram, right? So obviously this is for a demon that she's worshiping to get up there, to get a blessing, right? So it is ultimately idol worship or worship of idols, of the defilement of idolatry as incurred by eating the sacrifices offered to idols. There you go. And children, there are sacrifice. Unfortunately, I can't pull up this picture, and I think it's for a reason because maybe it'll get censored or blocked. But yeah, right. I hope this doesn't get censored, but I'm just showing you what it is. So let's just get this off from here. Just take this off. Yeah, yeah, but that's what they're doing, man. So, anyways, it says scandal deepens. Balenciaga designer posts disturbing and disgusting images. After the Balenciaga scandal, where the famous brand presented a collection that featured photos of children dressed, accessorized, and sexualized them, people have not stopped but dug um, into the Instagram of Lota Volkova, the main designer of Balenciaga and Adidas. All right, so this is the picture of Lota Volaga, the head designer for the Balenciaga and the Adidas, mocking God in a church. This is the brand that celebrities overwhelmingly endorse, and the brand that posted an ad with the child sex documents hidden in the corner. So there you go, cannibal corpses. So she's probably into that most likely. She doesn't like God. She hates God or hates the God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and loves Satan. And hey, these are the people that this is the clothing you're rocking. Hey man, I wear a lot of Adidas, right? This is the stuff that Kanye's promoting. He's rocking. That's how he gets paid, right? So yeah, man, this is what they're up. This is what they're doing. This is what they're about. But then they'll get on you for talking about the small hats, and it just shows you, man. It just shows you the ones you can't talk about are the ones that are in power. It's funny. They all blacklisted Kanye, got rid of him, but now they're allowing this shit to come onto their platform, right? All right, so this is her once again. All right, that's enough. You get the point, right? You get the point. Now let me get let me get something. Um, okay, so now it says the Gateway Pundit: thousands of pedophiles being released from California prisons thanks to Democrat policies. Thought I'd bring this in because you're seeing a lot of pedophilia arise up as of late. And now it says thousands of pedophiles are being released from California prisons in less than 1 year, thanks to Democrat policies. More than 7,000 of the convicted child abusers being released from prison were found guilty of lewd and lascivious acts with a child under 14 years of age. Some of the pedophiles committed horrific acts such as sodomy and rape. The pedophiles were released from prison after serving only a few months behind bars. Wow. Doing real crimes, things that are against the Heavenly Father. But you know what? This is Esau's world, man. He turns things upside down, pursuing to Isaiah, what is it, 29 and 16? Let's pull that up. Everything's upside down here. You'll do more time for following the righteous laws that are written in the book, for partaking in the Passover, killing a goat, killing a unblemished lamb. You can get charged for that shit. But here you have pedophiles getting out and living lives. They should be put to death, man. And that's why I said earlier, we got to get the hell up out of here. Get the hell up out of here. Um, what was I gonna get? Yeah, let's get. Forgot what I was gonna get, but oh yeah, Isaiah. What is it? Youngzheimer's kicking in, guys. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. It says, "Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him, excuse me, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?" Hey, that's these devils, man. You know, turning things upside down, thinking that they can tell the Lord, thinking they can tell the Lord what to do. right? So a part of him turning things upside down is by these policies that he's bringing out here, you know, by allowing these pedophiles to go out. And you could thank the Democrats. You could thank that dragon that spake like a lamb, and the two-party system. Right? I believe that's at what is it, Revelation 13 chapter. They speak like a lamb, but they're really a dragon, man. This is all dragon talk. Democrats. I thought Democrats are supposed to be for the people, you know, especially for you tribes, Democrats. But their policies are letting pedophiles get out there. Uh, but hey, man, that's just devil turning things upside down. He is seen as a potter's clay, and you're not the potter, man. Yahweh, the Heavenly Father, He's the potter. For shall the work say of Him that made it, He made me not. That's right. There is no God. I don't have to listen to you. You didn't make me. You know what? I don't need your laws. I'm going to make my own laws, and things are going to get much better. Well, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like things are getting any better, because now you got thousands of pedophiles being released. That doesn't seem good, man. Now you got more sex offenders on the street. Now they're going to prey upon little kids. That doesn't sound good. So things are turned upside down, guys. And it ain't getting any better, man. The more we progress during these end times, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And this devil's going to keep exposing himself for the devil that he is. And that's why things are upside down, man. Upside down. You keep seeing that number 7,000 of the convicted child abusers. And some of these guys are going to be let loose for judgment, or they're going to get judged as well. Just got to put that out there. So, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Right? All right. I have all these like tabs open. Like, what's wrong with me? Okay, so let's go into what what Elder Apostle Tar was going into. He made a quick post. I believe it was yesterday. I think it was about 2 minutes and change. And he said he told brothers, you should check out the podcast, which I did check it out. But Kanye, he doesn't stay for more than what, like 10 minutes. He doesn't stay for too long, So he ends up walking out. But you see how you see the hypocrisy out here. You see these people, they don't really want to admit, because, and I understand why he doesn't want to admit on who they are when you look at it. When it comes to admitting, the small hats, they're the ones that are causing problems. But I understand that because he has a platform and he's being paid at the end of the day by these people. And that's why, he ends up just leaving. Right. Which, I would have just sat there and looked at the guy. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have just sat there and looked at the guy. But he chose to leave. But I understand why he left. And it is what it is, man. And that's the synagogue of Satan, man. And it just shows you as well, the people you can't talk about are the ones in power. And he makes a lot of references in the podcast, saying that these people tried to put me in jail for something that I said. I wasn't even trying to harm anybody. They went after me, took away my money, and then on top of that tried to put me in jail. And that's how these small hats roll. They'll put you in jail for anything, just for speaking against them, not breaking the law, speaking against them. Want to put you in jail and throw away the key. And I understand why he just got up and left, because they didn't want to acknowledge that. They want to change the narrative and say that you can't brand a whole a group of people into doing this thing and getting mad about it. That's what this guy Tim was saying, man. That's these devils, but they're all in the game. He has a platform to protect, and at the end of the day, he's being paid by somebody. You're right. That's of that community. So, anyways, let's get Job 9:24. It says, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Hmm. Hmm. Where and who is he? It's a good question. And we know where and who is he now, because prophecy has fulfilled and time has elapsed, right? We know who he is. We know who Esau Edom is. We know who the Khazars are. We know they're changing and covering the faces of the judges thereof, right? I believe that word hand, it goes into power as well, like control. Yad, right? Yad, right? Hand of a man, strength, power. Yeah, that's right. So strength, power, right? Sign, monument. Yeah, so the hand of a man. So that's strength, power, right? The earth is giving into the hand of the wicked. So they got power out here. And that's why you can't talk about them, because they got power. That's why you see that word hand there. Power. Can't talk about me, or I'll throw you in jail. I'll get your family killed. You talk about me, get your family killed. And a lot of our people, they're under a gag order. And Kanye, he's trying to break that gag order, right? He's trying to go up against it. But all the people that went up against these devils all failed. And you know why they failed? Because they're not coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. So most likely this guy, Ye, he ain't gonna get anywhere. Because he ain't coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. Unless he gives up every single thing that he has. And you know, this motherfucker, man, Kanye, he ended up talking about that too. He's like, oh, the Lord, he's taking away certain things at me so I can get closer to him and stuff like that. Well, you know what? Why don't you denounce all the things that you've done and come back into the faith and go onto the highways and byways? But we know he ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna, you know, he ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna come in the full spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, because you know he's the man in purple in Babylon, right? And the reason, really, the man in purple is you know Esau, right? But he's trying to follow that same lifestyle as the man in purple. If you catch my drift, if you understand what I'm saying, when you read the parable, right, of Lazarus, right? Okay, but yeah, yeah, man, this guy had the nerve to say that, but he ain't coming in the full power of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. So guess what? It's gonna come to naught. He ain't gonna get anywhere. So I'll read this again. Basic precept. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's right. That hand means power. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay. So there you go. That's one. Um, let's get Revelation chapter 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Now, this is twofold. This is, in the context, it's talking about the Israelites of that time, you know, comprised of the scribes, you know, the wicked scribes, wicked Pharisees, right? You know, they are the synagogue of Satan, man, because they're coming in that same spirit, because they were really coming up against Yahushua as an adversary, so he can't push the truth, because they wanted to make money, they wanted that title, they wanted to be held in high esteem, right? So that's some of our people, but now this can play into you so-called Jews as well, right? You are in the synagogues, right? You have taken on an identity that's not yours, right? You've been through the Balfour Declaration that happened back in the late 40s, 1948. You 1948ers claiming that Israel is your homeland. You got the Iranian president, I believe it was Ahmadinejad. He came out. You know, the Jews left black. How do they come back white? Right? So you are a fake people, man. You are that synagogue of Satan, man. And that's who you worship, man. The spiritual demon Satan, right? Blaspheming the name of the Heavenly Father, man. Putting up your images, taking on the name of his people and the saints. Goddamn shame. And this is Yahweh Shai speaking, man. And guess what? He knows your works. He knows what you've done. That's twofold for our people, okay? And for you heathens, man. For you Khazars, you small hats. He knows what you've done. All right. But thou art rich, and they are rich, are rich, and they control everything. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Man, that's self-explanatory, man. That's self-explanatory. From the media, from everything they control, it's self-explanatory. They are that chief, that synagogue of Satan, the church of Satan, man. You small hats. All right, so let's get a precept, because we're not supposed to forget Amalek. Okay? Now, this is Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way when ye were come forth out of Egypt. Hey, when we were feeble, right? When we were weak and faint, coming out of our captivity. You know, when we come out of captivity, you're not as strong. You're not as strong. Hey, you seen that over here. You could go check the records. You know, when Judah came out of slavery, or you Southern Kingdom, when you came out of slavery, you know, they forwarded the affliction, man. You know, they set up all these organizations like the KKK, the Red Shirts, to come up against you when you were weak, when you were just getting back on your feet. You know, you didn't own anything, you didn't have a home, you know, you couldn't get jobs, even though you were skilled in the trades. You knew all this stuff during slavery. You had all these skills, but they were forwarding the affliction and you were weak and they didn't want to hire you, you know. So, you know, that's what Amalek does to us. He saw that when we came out of Egypt. He's like, oh, these guys are weak. Let me get these guys, man. They're still tormented. let me get on these guys, right? So it says, verse 18, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind me. Yeah, so he smote the young, the ones that were lame and weak, the old, right? Probably the pregnant woman. When thou was faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. And this guy does not fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. He does not fear, and he should, because we you know, the way we got out of Egypt was by the Lord's hand. You know, when we came out of Egypt, you know, the Lord sent the plagues. He sent all these plagues, man. 9 to 10 plagues. I believe it was 9 plagues, right? The 9 plagues of Egypt. 9 plagues, man, right? You know, if you didn't strike that blood on the doorpost, the death angel Yahweh Shai was going to get you, killing the firstborn. You know, all these things the nations know about. He knew about that, but he still did not fear, man. He still had the balls to come up against you, the Lord's chosen. And he's still doing it today. And that's why we cannot forget, because this guy is bold as fuck. He is bold as fuck. He is bold, guys. He is bold. And he doesn't care. And he doesn't fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? All right. Rahab the harlot, she feared. Right? She feared. She's like, oh, I fear you, Israelites, because we have known what your power has done in all the land. That's in the book of Joshua. You go into, I believe that's book of Joshua chapter 2 or chapter 5, I believe, goes into that when she was talking to the spies, right? So he does not fear, man. So he's getting you while you're weak, and 2/3 are weak, and he's got you, and he's killing you. So verse 19, therefore it shall be when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai thy power hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about in the land which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai thy power giveth thee for inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek, Salakia, from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it. So he's going to be exterminated, right? And he's going to get it, man. When we get that power, when we get into the king, he's going to get it, man. He's going to get it. One of the chief dukes of Edom, Genesis, the 36th chapter, Amalek. You going to get it, man. One of the dukes of Hazard, you going to get it when we get that power. So no, we cannot forget things like this, man. We cannot forget that, because you guys always come up against us. We're going to get you, man. Don't worry. Your days are numbered, man. Right now, you're winning just battles, but you haven't won the war. Okay? What you're seeing here, man, these are just skirmishes. That's how I look at it. It's just skirmishes. Boom, one loss. Okay, whatever. We're gonna bounce back. We're gonna clap back. Don't worry, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you. Don't worry. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Mashiach, we're gonna get you. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're gonna get you, man. We're gonna clap back hard, man. We're gonna get you. All right, so let's move on. So let's get more precepts on that. So this is Exodus chapter 17, verse 14. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I'll utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. And Moses built an altar and called it the name of Yahweh Nasi, for he said, because the Lord Yahweh has sworn that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So that's right. And you know, you're not just having war with us, you're having war with the power of all powers. That's Exodus chapter 3 and 15. For he is a man of war. I think that's 3 and 15. Let me get that. You know, so the Lord's going to clap you up, slap you up. Exodus chapter 3 and 15. I think that's it. Nope. 15 and 3. There we go. 15 and 3. Okay, so Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. That's right. So war with Amalek. For he said, because Yahweh has sworn, okay, can't swear higher than that, that Yahweh will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. So that war is still on, man. Okay, so that's why you're seeing things like this happen. Like I said, these are battles, right? Skirmishes. Sometimes we lose them. Right? We're losing them. We lose a lot right now, in our current state. But ultimately, we're going to win the war. Why? Because we got the warrior of all warriors, or the warriors of warriors, which is Yahweh Shai. He's going to fight them. He's going to win. All right. So that's what the Lord says, man. All right. So let's see. That's all I got. All these precepts. I don't know why I pulled all these precepts up. I don't know. So, anyways, with that, I'm gonna call it. I hope this was somewhat edifying. You know, I went into different things today. Let's get a recap. So I went into this, right? You know, this witch. Went to the pedophilia. Went to the Tim Pool broadcast, right? With Ye, and then I also brought up the article about India going into going into the second phase of their digital rupee. All right, so you know that was a lot that was said. So with that, just want to give all praises, glory, honor due unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect, Kwam Yasha'Allah and Abba Ball, Shalom.